If you're sick and tired of having closers and appointment setters who are underperforming, this video is going to be for you, because you're having your setters, appointment setter, not calling fast enough the lead, and then you're having a closer not closing consistently at the same closing rate, and then you have your marketer taking a look at the spreadsheet that you just cooked that doesn't make any sense, and he's trying to push the ads with data that are not even real. Okay, this is fake data. And if you ever felt like you cannot really trust the data that you have in front of you, you might have a lead quality problem. I'm not talking about being able to disqualify the leads. I'm talking about a lead quality problem. The lead quality problem is simply making sure that every person who lands on your scheduler and book a call with your sales team is actually a real human. Okay, so if you take a look at this screen, whenever you compare your stats of your appointment setters and your closers, you realize that well, you don't actually have fixed variable. Okay, so whenever you do an experiment and you're comparing closers and setters, you want to have you want to be able to trust the data. But if you're comparing setters and closers apple to apple, but you don't really know if the leads actually are real, then your experiment is worth nothing. Okay, so you want to make sure that actually data is real. What happened normally? People enter on your scheduler, there's bots, there's fake information, people put a phone number, fake email, you have competitors coming and booking on your scheduler, and then you have some real humans. And after that, you realize that when you take a look at your data every quarter, you should do like a lead quality control of your whole pipeline in your CRM. Hope you're doing that, a cleanup, because otherwise you're just paying for active campaign and all of the software for nothing, and you're actually making smart views, and your sales team is focusing on lead that doesn't even exist. Doesn't make sense. So you need to overstaff, then you need to manage more people. It's just a really bad feedback loop. Okay, so you understand that actually 50% of your pipeline is just dead. It doesn't exist. After that, your pixel learns the wrong thing, so he sends you more of the bad leads. So GI Joe, what I called garbage in, garbage out. Okay, after that, you have your appointment setter who lose confidence. Your appointment setters, if your appointment setter has a good conviction that whenever he has this Slack notification notifying him that there is a new person who booked a call, when he calls the lead, he's going to make money because you showed him this stat, obviously, right? So there's this stat saying that actually when you call the leads within the first 5 minutes, you increase your chances of converting this lead by 100 times. Not 100%, 100 times. That's a lot. Okay, so if your appointment setters know that, and he's not calling the lead, there's two reasons. Either he's not being incentivized to actually do it. I suggest you pay him based on the call that he confirmed and end up being closed. So that's a good one. And you need to, if you have valid phone number and he's not calling within the first 5 minutes, and you're not paying, and you're paying him on success, then this person is just lazy, and you can either kick him out, or you can do a free-for-all strategy where you actually dump all the leads that are qualified, validated, into a Slack channel, and then you have all the sellers there, and whoever comes first takes it, and then they just put an emoji there and they claim the leads, and then they go. Okay, so that's the way you can do it. Now let's continue on this. I have other stuff for you, by the way. So, and then based on all of that, your closers is also losing confidence because he doesn't really know if this person is going to show up on the call, and then up and down. The problem with that is that it costs a lot to hire a closer. Maybe you have some agency that gives you the closers for free, or maybe not. Maybe they take a commission, but the amount of calls that you need to give to a closer when you're paying your leads, like your MQL at $300, and you have to give him 10 or 20 calls, well, it's like $6,000 per closer trained or tried. So that's an expensive one. And when you try closers, you should try like 5 to 6 closers at the same time, and that also your sales manager is defocused. He's not focusing on the A players, and then it's really again the same down spiral. And on top of that, you have your marketer making assumption because there is the wrong data in front of him. He's taking a look at the data. He sees like, oh, I have a good cost per call, I have a good MQL, but actually they are not SQL. So basically what you need to do is that you need to change MQL the MQL is a real human. Right now, I'm pretty sure that your MQL is just a call booked. So if you change your MQL, your marketing qualified leads, to actually a real human, that will make a big difference, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. When you do that, then you move to SQL. So sales qualified lead is a person who showed up on the call, and we're going to break it down in the next few minutes. So here you can see G.I. Joe, garbage in, garbage out. What are you supposed to do with that? Nothing. Take it, trash it, because you're not going to be able to survive with it. Impossible, because again, there's other stuff here you have to send. Then you have multiple software. You have HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Pipedrive, Close, Go High Level. The data is not updated anywhere. Nobody knows what to do. And then you have the cascade of consequences that gives you more of the G.I. Joe, and then you can't operate this way because it's also nurturing your pixel. Take it, trash it. We need to start from scratch. So the right way of doing it is very simple. So what you can do is you can, whenever somebody comes on your scheduler, you protect your event, your scheduler. You protect it with at least those two, email and phone validation. We need to make sure that those people are real, because if you are complaining about your sellers not calling the lead fast enough, but probably that the lead doesn't even exist, okay? Probably that the phone number doesn't even exist. So you are at least wasting your seller's time, but most likely you are increasing this because he's busy dialing lead who don't even exist, which again causes you to go from 100x conversion to 21x, and again you're just losing money. So you want to make sure that you validate the email and the phone number, and when this is locked, you make sure that your sellers are actually dialing the lead within the first 5 minutes, which then increase your conversion by 100x. Now we're talking, okay? So how do you do that really easily inside of iClosed? Really simple. You go inside of your event. So this is what an event look like inside of iClosed. And by the way, we capture the leads before showing the slot. So we also increase the pipeline by like 50+%. So you go in data intelligence, and here you can turn on simply phone validation and email validation, and you just have to pay for the checks, okay? So whenever somebody put the phone number and the email, will validate it in under 200 milliseconds. And if the person doesn't have a real email, we're just gonna say, hey, can you change your phone number, correct it please? Great. So this is the first thing. If you're doing B2B, what you can do, you can do business email on the scheduler. And the way that you do that is that you go here in invitee question, or only accepting business email. And if you're doing B2B, that's probably the only thing you should do. This plus the email validation, it's a killer, because you make sure that nobody comes and put a fake company business email. And actually, when you take a look at the stats for B2B businesses, the highest indicator of conversion is basically, is this a business email? Run it through your stat. If you're doing B2B, you're going to see that the revenue per call on business email only is at least 50% higher than a B2C email like gmail.com and Yahoo and so on and so forth. So you do that. And then what do you do with the annoying guys who are just spamming you? That can be competitor, that can be a customer who's not happy, that can be just a lead who has been disqualified, who really want to book a call. Usually you don't want those guys. So what you do is that you just go under settings in blocking, and then you come here and then you add the IP or the email address. The way that you get the IP is that you go to your global data and then you are having the contact cards. You click on the contact cards. I'm not going to show it here, but on the bottom left side, you can have the IP. You copy it, and then you come back here and then you paste the IP. Okay. And when you do that, the person will never be able to book a call with the same IP. You're protected. All good. So now we're protecting your event and your sales team against fake phone number, fake email, and IP blocking and email blocking with the annoying people. On top of that, we have a CAPTCHA protection layer that you don't even have to configure inside of your iClose account. By default, we're protecting every single scheduler, and whenever we notice that there is a bot, we are just having the captcha that actually protect your calendar. Okay, so now you make sure that actually all the people are actually humans, helpful, right? And now your pixel learns from the right thing. He learns that, okay, this person is actually qualified, and then you can fire Google Tag Manager and Meta. I'm going to talk more about that later, because you can actually disqualify on top of this. Then your setters is actually confident, and the speed to lead is going to go up, and if the speed go up, the money goes up as well, and your closer is sharp, and you can actually train closers on the right script, because then you know that maybe people are just putting a spam and they're not actually really serious, and your closers is wasting time pitching people who are not even qualified. No, you can't do that. You first control the quality, and then after that you have your process here. If you want to make the right decision, which you should, then this comes in, and then you have clean data and clean growth, because you can trust the data. Speaking about the quality control after that, because as I said, you're making sure that first the humans are real. This is real humans, and after that you can qualify and disqualify. So the way that you do this is that you go inside of your scheduler, and here you can see that we ask questions such as, what is your income, what is your monthly revenue? You can adjust it based on your own business use case, and then you come into conditional routing over here, disqualification, and then you can disqualify the leads who don't have the money, or you can send that to an appointment setter. So if you want to route them to, for example, because this is a real human now, okay, there's two options. You either disqualify them and you redirect them to a school community or to a YouTube channel, so then you can nurture them more, and then your appointment setter can actually call them later. You can do that, or you actually route. You can route them directly to an appointment. You come over here, you add your what is your question. Of course, I disqualified it, but let's say this is the other part, and then here you can select your closer, okay, or your appointment setter. So you're making sure that the people who come in the scheduler are actually valid and human being, first step. And after that, the people who are not qualified, then you either redirect them to a checkout offer, you redirect them to a school community, to a YouTube channel, or you assign them to an appointment setter. And then after that, your appointment setter can come inside of the global data, and in the contact tabs, under the appointment setting tabs, and it can just like see all the leads that came through, use the contact stage to actually book the call and push them again to the sales team. This is how you have a good feedback loop. So just as a recap, this is the lead quality control fix that you should implement as soon as possible to make sure that you have real human, and your appointment setters deliver, your closers close, and you make money. Okay, so just turn on phone, email validation, business only email if you're doing B2B. You block the spammers. For the bots, we block them by default. You are also firing your pixel now only on validated leads, and you review data weekly with your marketer, and you can now compare closers and appointment setters apple to apple. Okay, that was it. Good luck with that. I'll see you on the next one.